welcome. We have a few folks connecting audio, so I'm gonna give just a minute before I get us all kicked off. Just for some new folks who joined, I didn't want you guys to be confused because of the silence. All righty, we will go ahead and get this meeting kicked off. This is Olivia Miller with Southern Illinois University Center for Workforce Development, overseeing Illinois WorkNet. I just want to welcome you all back to our afternoon session. This session is going to be very, very informal. We're really going to be opening things up to you all to see if you have any questions regarding the tools that we covered in this morning's session, or if you have any questions regarding access. We're here to make sure you're able to get into the tools and then use the provider information tools. You access those provider information tools. Let me share my screen here. You access those provider information tools using this little file folder up in the toolbar of the customer support center after you get logged in and access that through your dashboard. Before I go too much further, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. We also have Natasha Telger on the call with us as well. She's going to be assisting me with providing TA as well. Could we go ahead and make Natasha a co-host as well in the event she needs to share her screen?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then with that, I'm going to go ahead and open things up to questions for you all. Everybody who requested access during the last meeting should have it. You will need to log off and log back in for that access to come through. If you're still not seeing what you need to see, let us know, either unmute yourself or let us know in the chat. So I will open that, open everything up to you all to see if you guys have any questions regarding the tools or access.
Are we able to ask the questions out loud, or would you like us to put them in the chat?
You could ask them out loud. This is very informal, so.
Okay. So based on what we went over today, what ideally should we have completed and filled out into the system?
So based on what we covered today, we want to make sure that we have our grantee details filled out. So you can access those via the grantee details tab. You'll go to YCP, you'll select, it should auto default to your organization if you just have one. And then you're going to want to go through and fill out that grantee detail information using this edit button. You'll be able to fill all that out. You can add your grant information if you have that available. You also want to be entering in your training program. So you can do that from the grantee details tab by scrolling down. There's also a training programs tab where you can do the exact same thing. And then if you have any work sites, you can go ahead and get those added as well. And then the last thing that you can work on if needed, not everybody will have this, is we have a file upload. If you have any files specific to your organization, not customers, but your organization, your grant, or your staff, you can get those uploaded here as well. So they're accessible. I'm going to go ahead and put that list in the chat so you guys can like write that down, copy and paste it so you kind of have a checklist that you can go off of. Natasha, did we also want them adding appointments?
No, you don't need to add appointments. It was
Okay.
just more of a kind of, this is, while we're in this area, this is a tool that's available.
Okay, so I'm going to also copy an instruction. So if you guys do this offline, we have instructions that will walk you through how to access it, and then it will actually walk you through exactly how to go through and do these different items. So I'll put those in the chat as well. And we are working on finalizing this partner page, but once we have it available, it'll be available to you all so you guys can access instructions and stuff as you need them. And then I see we have another question. When should we have this filled out by? I'm working from home today and don't have access to all the information.
I mean, just when it doesn't have to be filled out today, but Commerce will be reviewing it and approving it. I don't think we have a hard deadline, but and if you could have it done by like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday, Kenneth says, so you guys can get it all your information and put into the system by Tuesday. That'd be perfect. You guys can always reach out to us if you're doing this and run into any questions, any technical questions. You can reach out to myself and Kenneth and Shannon, and we can be sure to figure out whatever's going on. I put my email in the chat in case you guys don't have it. I'm sure you guys have Kenneth and Shannon's email. Any other questions?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Sharon Simmons from Phelan's Family Services. Unfortunately, I had to start driving the second half of the earlier session. And I just want to make sure that I have the access to the YCP
Yeah.
page. I don't see, I logged in, with my account information, but I don't see the
Yep.
folder at the top.
I have you right here with access. Oh, you're not seeing. Let me check.
Should probably used to list seeing it in the group list. It won't be in the group list. We haven't provided access to everyone yet, but you should be able to see it like when you go to the provider tools and the drop downs. But if not, we can log in and look at that
Okay, so
too.
once I log in,
Once you log in, you'll click My Dashboard,
mhm.
and then you will, let me see if I can walk through it for everybody. So James, I'm logged in as you because I was looking up your stuff earlier. So James is one of our grantees. So you'll click My Dashboard and you'll click the Customer Support Center. And that will take you to this page right here, but it'll be defaulted to the groups. So it'll open like this. You'll just click this little file folder and it will take you to the provider information where you should see YCP in your dropdown. If you have access to more than one project, it might say select, and when you open it, it'll show you all the projects you have access to. You'll want to select YCP, and then your organization name should show here. And then this is where, so when I was showing you guys earlier, you saw that I had a lot of tabs. I was in test as a super admin. When you guys log in, you're just going to have access to the information that you need to complete. So you're going to see your grantees and your training programs tabs here.
So for me, okay, the first project YCP, I see that. The second, the provider. Oh, never mind. It's a little slow. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes it takes
It's
a
little
second
slow.
to pull that list in.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Okay.
James, while I have your account up, is there any specific questions that you had on your access?
Not at all right now.
Okay.
What I just noticed is that I had logged out and logged back in, but that folder, what didn't pop up, but now I gave it some breathing room, and when I log back in, it's there.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we're seeing the kind of the same stuff now. So yeah.
Awesome.
Now I'm sorry, this is Sharon again. When
Yeah.
I
Hey,
add
Sharon.
hey James, I thought that was you. To add my information, I'm going to grantee details, correct?
Yeah. So if you go to the grantee details tab, You can select this edit button here next to your grantee information and fill all that out. And
Okay, go
then,
back to that one more time. I'm sorry.
yeah, so you'll select your grantees detail
Mhm.
tab.
Right.
And then under grantee information at the very top, you can select the edit button and it'll allow you to fill all this information out right here.
Okay, now that I don't see. Let me go back. I'm missing something. So I'm on the grantee details. I have that YCP, Phalanx Family Services.
And you see grantee info, or click select, I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so click edit. I see it now.
Yeah, and then you'll fill all that out.
134, Mr. Roberts, please call extension 134.
And then
Thank
you can also associate your grant information by clicking add grant.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep scrolling down, you'll get to your training programs and you can add those.
Okay.
And then there's also work sites and you can add those.
Okay.
And you can
I
do
see.
all that under your grantee details tab.
Got it. Okay. Okay, I see it. I see it now. Okay, got it.
Any other questions?
So this is Lori Cox, and I missed the beginning of the morning session. I have had an account in the past, but I can't seem to log into it. But I'm not going to be entering the participants of the grant, our Illinois WorkNet or our WIOA office will be entering our students into the system. Will we both need access? And then will we also both need new logins, not to use our existing logins?
You can use your existing logins. We just give you additional access. And Lori, you should have access using your existing account. This is Lori Cox, correct? Yeah.
Yes, and it's not. And I forgot my password, and so I did the forgot username and password, and it is not sending me an email to reset.
Is this your email?
Yes.
Okay, let me see here. That's not what I want.
And it says success, an email has been sent to you.
Did you check your junk or other folder?
Try that. Well, and our stupid filters are so, they actually weed them out completely. Like I don't even see them.
Okay, I can reset your password. Yeah, if you have a lot of firewalls and stuff up, it can sometimes be hard to get through. And you are with Southeast College, Southeastern Illinois College. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're not able to see that, let me know and I can reset my password on my end, and then
Okay.
it'll prompt you to log in and reset it with what you want it to be. So
Okay.
if we need to do that, we can.
Okay, and so just email you directly for that?
I will privately message you in the Zoom chat a password
Okay.
and you can try it out right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. And then for my Southern 14 Workforce Board office that's going to be entering these as well, what do I need to do to make sure that they're in the system as well for this program?
And Natasha, I wanted to bring you in on this one because this is for entering customers, not your grantee information. Is that correct?
Right, entering the Customers, yeah, but I mean, we still, if they're gonna be entering customers into the system, then, we just need to have, same basic type of information that we need to know who they are so we can make sure that they have access to the customers.
Would they follow those same instructions then that the partners are following for gaining access, sending an email and all that?
Yeah.
Okay, I will send those instructions to you,
Perfect.
Lori, so that you can give
Get them
those
to
to
the office.
them.
Okay. And did you send me a private chat, Olivia?
I'm getting ready to. I
Okay.
can't remember if I put a capital or a lowercase letter, so I have to redo one. Multitasking.
I'm
Okay,
glad it's not just me.
I just got that sent to you. It's gonna ask you to
I see it.
do a
Okay.
new one, I believe, and so you can make it what you want. And let me make sure these are the right ones. Alrighty, and here are the links, and I'll send this to everybody so everyone has it. This is also sent out by Kenneth, I believe, for gaining access. So they're the same instructions. But here's a URL to those. So they'll just need to have a WorkNet account and then send an email asking for access. You don't need to worry about the request access to Partner Tools document because you all have been set up with your partner organization. So that's all taken care of. They just need a WorkNet account.
Olivia, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is Arnissa from Reset to Success Foundation. I had an account previously here, but it's showing the wrong organization. I need that to have that changed, but for whatever reason would not allow me to change the organization.
Let me see here.
Hello.
Arnissa, where'd you go? And you're talking about in your account, or are you talking about in the drop down for your YCP tools?
I believe the account, because
Okay.
when I went to access it, it told me I already had an existing account. So I reset the password and it was listing St. Clair County as the organization.
And you need to be with Reset to Success.
Correct.
Let me not show this so everybody can see it. It is loaded here, just a second, and I will get that switched over, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, any other questions while I'm waiting on that to come?
I wanted to see if you could go over I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull it up, the questions for the training programs.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this in test. It's the same thing. I just won't be messing with anybody's actual information. So we're gonna go to YCP, pick a provider and click add program. So is there specific questions you want to go over, or would you like me to just go over the whole thing?
If you can go over the whole thing, that would be great.
So the first thing we do is when we come in, we're going to identify the type of training program offered. So you'll select from this list. We're going to go ahead and say career pathway, and then it says we will approve training program information. We are currently in the process of updating this section. There will only be 2 options moving forward. It is going to be, sorry, typing. It is going to be use a WHEEL approved training program, and you can search that. This is pulling from the service finder. So you got the WHEEL approved training programs list. So if you have it already added as a WHEEL approved training program, you can search it. I'm not sure if this is hooked up on test. There we go. You can search it and it's going to pull that information. You'll click select and it'll pre-populate all this information. We are going to be removing these two options as we are not going to be using IWDS for this program. And then we're going to be updating this last one. So it will only say submit training program for approval. This program does not need to be included in the WIOA program search, period. We're going to remove this last statement about what needs to be added into IWDS because, as I just said, we're not doing IWDS. So pretty much there's two options. You're selecting a WIOA approved training program or you're submitting a training program that is not WIOA approved for approval from Commerce. If you select this option, all these fields are going to be, well, they would be cleared. They wouldn't have anything in there and you would go through and you would fill all this information out. And all that information would then be submitted to Commerce to review and approve as a potential training program.
So question on that.
Yeah.
So I was looking at mine in the beginning. So when you selected, I'm sorry, hold on, I don't want there to be echo. Okay. When you selected the first option of use a WIOA approved training program and you click search, what did you type in?
So you're going to type in the program name. So I just started typing and it'll start to like pre-populate a list. So whatever ag business maybe, whatever the program name is, you will search it. The list will help you get there because you do need to kind of, make sure you're putting in the same name that's been entered into IWDS as that WIOA provider. It'll search the system and then if it has results, it'll pull them back.
Okay.
I might need to refresh this to get in new results. But then when you click that select, it's going to pre-populate pretty much all the information and then lock down those fields. You will have the ability to change a few and then there will still be some that you need to fill out.
And if you don't see your program when you type it in, does that mean you need to submit one?
Yeah, so if you're not seeing your program, if you know it is WIOA approved and it is on that training program search, you should probably reach out to IWDS and verify what that program name is. On Illinois WorkNet, we have a WIOA training program search. So let me show you guys that really quick because it can kind of help. On our main Illinois WorkNet page under training and credentials, we have the WIOA approved training program search. This is pulling from IWDS. So it's pulling the full list. So if you need to, like if you know who the provider is, but you don't know who the program is, you can kind of search these providers. And if you click on it, it'll tell you what their program names are. So maybe you just have the wrong name. This can kind of help, or you can reach out to IWDS. But yeah, then you will complete the rest of the information, your SOC, your target occupation, your NICS. I'm going to stop right here. Do you guys have any questions before I get to the enrollment information?
I do.
Yeah.
Can you go back? Because I wasn't here for the morning training. So when you go to provider, I'm kind of familiar with IWDS, how their system works. I know we're not doing theirs. However, I just want to be clear, when you go to program name, so are we just looking for the field that we're training them in? As in how you have selected here, the nursing. So we're just looking for that field for the program. Is that what that is? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so the program name will be the name of the training program.
Okay, so if we're doing nursing, so we're going to select, are there different options for that nursing? So I'm sorry, can you show that one more time?
Yeah, from
As
the
to-
WIOA training search.
Yes.
Yeah. So as I type in nursing, you can see there are tons of different nursing options. And so you'll need to be selecting the name that matches the program for the provider you're wanting to add it for.
I see it. Okay.
So
Okay.
this is Lakeland College's nursing program.
Is there any way to just to search based off the name of the training provider?
Not at this time. I can make a note and I can talk to our team and see how big of an update that would be and if it would be something that we
Hey,
could look
Olivia,
into.
just do a blind search and then, oh, it doesn't have anything. I didn't know there's like a search, yeah, and then under below that, there's like the search, there's like, looks like there's another search.
I'm sorry, I'm not following.
No, I meant if you're back into that, go click on that WIO approved training program search and then hit your regular search. So like it's on a nurse, just hit search or put nurse and then
Oh,
hit
put
search.
nurse. Okay.
And hit search.
It doesn't pull back anything.
You have to choose one exactly, huh?
Yeah, and it says, it should say this. Please use the exact complete words for the search. I'm wondering if we can make it more expansive. I don't know if there's a reason it was done like that or what, but I'm going to make a note about it.
Yeah, I mean, are most of the people going to be using a WIO approved training program? It's on the ETPL. It doesn't have to be, but I mean, if you are, then that's great. Then
Any other questions on this piece before we do the enrollment information?
This is Lori again. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing we do is the become a partner. And since we already have an account, then I just need to go to the Illinois WorkNet information email and request to become a YCP partner. And then once that is done, then I do add the training program and then I do the training and credentials.
Yeah, so once you have your Illinois WorkNet account, you will send an email asking to become a YCP partner. Most of the folks already do because we got that set up this morning. Once you've been granted access to be a YCP partner, you're going to be able to access all the tools through your customer support center. First things we're doing is we're going to our provider information. And before you actually do your training programs, you're going to want to, oh, I am logged in as me. Let me jump over to my test. How did I get out of test? Okay, here we go. You're going to want to go to your grantees details tab, and you're going to want to first fill out your grantee information. So that's the very first thing.
Is that one of the links that you added in the chat? Were those instructions?
Yep, there is a grantee details. So you'll do that.
Oh, I have that one. Okay.
Yep. And then once you have that, you can do your training programs and then your worksite placement and then any files. Not everybody will have files, but you can get those done as well.
Okay.
I think I kind of put the instructions in the order in which you probably would make the most sense to get information added. So if you want to copy them down that way, it might be a helpful like 1, 2, 3, 4 checklist. So I'm jumping back over. I know I'm all over the place, so I just want to give context where I'm at. I'm jumping back to the training provider piece. So this is where we're adding our program information. So we selected the type, the WIOA, that it was a WIOA training program. We also have the ability to just submit our own. Got all the information pulled in and input. And then for your enrollment information, you're going to identify the number of participants this project will serve and who your primary contact is. This will be typically be a list of everybody who has access to the program that you've been added to. Right now, it's not showing anybody. I'm on test, but this would typically be, so like if your organization, you have, 3 users with access to your organization, you would see all 3 of them. So you could say who is the contact for this program. And then the minimum age for the occupation. And then you'll click next page. And then let me do this really quick. So I'm going to actually jump into one that we're in the process of filling out because I'm logged in as a weird user. So you would fill all that out, you click next page, and it's going to take you to where you add your baseline requirements. So your baseline requirements are just, the various requirements for participating in this program. Courtney says, I know mine are in there, but the search is not working. Can I add them or will that create a program? Courtney, do you mean your training programs are in there?
Yeah, so like I'm searching for like 160 Driving Academy, and I can tell like initially there's a ton of them in there, but when I actually click on any of them or put CDL or driving, like nothing comes up. But I know they're approved programs in iWads because we use them for our other programs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why I can't get them to show with the search.
So what location are you trying to pull the program from?
Rockford.
And are you trying to pull just the 160 Driving Academy program?
Yep.
Okay. Where are we at? Search. 60 Driving Academy. Might need to run it by the programmer because yeah, it doesn't look like anything's coming up, and they were coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's really weird. It
previously.
just isn't doing anything.
Yeah, let me check with our programmer and see what's going on. I know we've had some funky things going on with 160 in the past. So
Okay, so should I hold off on putting anything in?
yeah, I
Okay.
would hold off. That way you could just pull it directly
Okay.
from the Wheel approved list.
Okay, we'll do.
Actually, I want to just. Good question. I'm going to actually send this to our programmer right now really quick so they can hopefully get it sorted out sooner rather than later. All righty. One more snippet of this. Alrighty, we're going to jump back to the baseline requirements unless anybody else has any questions on this first page of just adding the program information. Alrighty, so you'll go through and you'll add your baseline requirements. These are pretty straightforward. You're just going to read the different questions and put in the answers for this training program. What are the goals of the program? What's the standard requirements of the program entry or standing requirements? What are the appearance requirements? There's a bunch of different questions just to be able to help align customers with training programs so they understand, what all is required. And then once you fill all that out, you will click next. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to add any associated credentials. Before we dive into that, did anybody have any questions on the baseline requirements? I'm gonna repaste the instructions back to the chat because I think we've had some additional folks join. Oh, that did not paste very pretty. Let me retry that. Actually, Natasha, would you mind repasting those back to the chat and I'll just keep going on this?
Sure.
Thank you. And then Kenneth and Shannon, there's a question. Could you please resend the link for the meeting tomorrow?
Yes, all of the links were problematic, and I'm sorry about that. Give me just a minute. I did email out to most of the emails that we have on our contact list. I'll put it in the chat also in just one sec. Double check it.
All righty. So when we add credentials here, we are going to be removing this add credential from credential registry section. It is not quite hooked up yet. So you're just going to want to use this submit request for commerce approve credentials. When you click that, it's going to allow you to add your credential information. You're not going to see all this. I'm logged in as a super user. Obviously, you're not going to determine the approval status. But you will fill out the credential information and submit it, and then Commerce will come and review these and either approve or deny them. A question that was asked in a previous meeting, that was a very good question, is that, what kind of credentials do you put in here? Is it just industry recognized? Is it occupational, such as OSHA or first aid? And does GED get included? And the answer to that the Commerce team provided is go ahead and submit all credentials, and the Commerce team will review and approve those that they end up determining are going to be acceptable for this program. So you can enter anything. It doesn't just have to be industry recognized, but it does not necessarily mean that they're going to be approved. Your credential will then show in this list. You can add as many as you need. You're going to see your approval status is pending. Once it has been reviewed and either approved or denied, that will update so you can see the status of your credential. And then you will click finish, and that will set up your training program, which you will be able to see in your list. Oh, let me go to the right. So this is one we are looking at.
Did you say how long it takes for them to approve it, the credentialing?
I did not. Kenneth, Shannon, and Tasha.
So right now we're operating just on the standard WIOA guidances. I'm not sure who was talking, if you're already a WIOA person or no. Yeah, I couldn't see whose voice that was. So if you're not a current WIOA person and you don't know the WIOA guidances, enter it and then, or talk with us before you enter it if you have any doubts, let's put it that way. But definitely the GED. Most of you are using approved training providers, so they are industry accepted credentials. So I don't anticipate too many problems, but if you have one you're worried about, hit me or Shannon up, or me and Shannon up offline, and we'll walk you through it.
Do you know what the timeline is going to be for how quickly those will be reviewed and approved? Is that something that'll be done weekly, every other day?
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, as soon as you let us know that you have one that you're wanting to look into, we'll work with you and talk with you on it. So nag us, don't let it be more than a few days to connect with you on it. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I wasn't sure who, oh, Ms. O'Bannon. Okay, I see you. Thank you.
Any other questions? One thing I do want to let everybody know, so let me jump back to production where we see just what we want to see. So you guys will be, updating your grantee details, adding your training programs, and doing any file uploads. We ask that you guys get this done by next Tuesday, sooner if possible. Right now, what we're doing is we're kind of just, I'm going to bring this up for reference. We're working on a resource page for you all. Actually, we're working on a whole partner guide. Once we have that finalized, we will give you guys access to it. one of the resources we have is this resource page. So right now what we're working on is the getting started stuff. So you guys already have become partners and got access. Now we're getting everything set up in Illinois WorkNet. So that's where we're getting our grantee details, adding our training program, all that fun stuff. There'll be a few other things we have you guys set up once we have those ready to go. And then once we have everything set up, is where we were really going to be getting into the actual customer tools. So right now you guys don't have access to those customer tools. I know we had a couple of people kind of looking, trying to find those. People who are kind of familiar with the system and maybe been in a program before, they're not there yet. So if you can't find them, it's not that you don't have access. It's just that we haven't given you access until we get everything set up. So I just wanted to let folks know so there was no confusion there. Right now, we're still working on the first few items of just getting everything established in the system. Any other questions? Anybody who does not have access who thinks they should?
I am still having a little trouble with the WIOA approved training program information. So when I search for our program, we're doing CDL and forklift, things like that under work-based learning. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be looking up CDL.
What provider are they offered by?
Olive Harvey College,
They
Say
should,
that.
Olive Harvey, they should be in there.
but I'm not seeing them, so I'm not sure.
Right, there might be some weird glitch like with the other one. Let's see. There's Olive Harvey. So do they have CDL and forklift both? They're providing both of those for you. Is that right? Or am I making that up?
Yes.
Here. Let me actually do a refresh of this page. I want to make sure I'm not bogging anything down. Seems like it's taking a while because usually it'll have no results displayed message if it can't find anything. I'll run that one by the programmer too. He said he was going to take a look at it this afternoon. Yeah, I'm not sure because it's not even, I'm not getting that no data available in table message. So I'll have him look at that too.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead and hold off on adding those until we have it working. So we're tying everything together appropriately.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty, any other questions? They're really good questions and stuff I'm glad we can get worked out.
This is Lori again. I just asked if, so our training program is already approved. Do we still need to fill out and submit the Add Youth Career Pathway Training Programs?
Yes.
We do that as well. Okay, thank you.
And I'm not sure if you were on the other session, but the information that's used in this training program section specifically is identified as a Youth Career Pathways training program, and that would be used to populate not just the public page, so people can see what training programs are available, but also to populate the career plan or IEP. Pull it all together.
So we're utilizing a WIOA approved training provider, but when I try to do the search, it does not populate.
What is the program name? Our programmers are going to look into this, but I'm just trying to get some good examples to give them to.
We're in the
see what's going on.
hospitality, and it's the food service management training
Okay,
through
food.
Educational Advantage
Okay.
is the provider.
I will have them check that out.
So should I just enter the information manually, or?
No, go ahead and hold off until we get that search working so that we can get it all pulled in and keep it all tied appropriately.
Okay.
What we'll do is our programmer is going to look into this afternoon. We'll get that resolved. If we don't get it fixed by the end of the day today, he will work on it tomorrow morning and get it resolved. And then Kenneth, do you have like I'm trying to think of a way that I can email everybody in one big email, and I don't have everybody's email. But I think I could probably get the registrants of the webinars and then send out an email and let everybody know that it's been resolved so you guys can start moving forward with things.
Yes, the context spreadsheet that Shannon and I have, there have been updates and changes, obviously, as programs move forward. So the ones from today and the ones that you have on your spreadsheet, and
right.
the participants, we want to combine all three into one new updated document. So I'll forward you an email with all of our contacts, and we'll get hopefully from Kirsten, the emails from here.
Perfect.
That sounded like a lot, but yes, short answer.
Any other questions?
So although I can't complete training programs, when I go to the the Worksite Placement, can you just go over what needs to be done in that area?
I sure can. Let me get my
Thank
test
you.
pulled up. I have 100 tabs open, so bear with me as I try to find it. There we
No
go.
problem.
Okay, so and even I need the instructions sometimes, so I'm going to pull those over into my other screen.
That's so nice to hear. Thank you, Olivia. Makes us all feel better.
So from the grantee details tab, if you scroll down towards the bottom, you'll hit the work sites and you can click edit worksite placement information. I will also just note that you can get directly to Worksite by clicking this icon. It's right next to the provider tab. I'm not sure if you all have access to that icon or if it's just me. I think you should though. And then these drop downs will be pretty familiar to you guys as you're working through things. You're going to want to make sure you have the project and the grantee provider. And then you're going to select your employment type if you need to filter your list down anymore. And then you'll click filter and this will show you all of the employer work sites that you have. To add a new one though, you're going to click this add employer work site button. And then you will either select from an existing employer that you've added. Let me see here. Give you guys a little context really quick. So where are these employers coming from? When we were on this worksite tab page, there's an employer tab, and this is where all your employer information is managed. So you can add employers and manage employers from this tab right here. So we can either select to add this employer, or we can either select to use this employer, or we can add a new employer. I'm going to go ahead and just select this employer. And then we can either select from an existing work site or add a new work site. So I'll go ahead and for this demo, I will add a new work site. So you're going to enter the work site name here, phone number, fill out all the required information. Then you'll enter in the primary contact for this. Oops. For this specific work site. And the boss, how about? That sounds fun. And then the primary phone number for that contact. And then you can click next step. And you can see up here, we're kind of, it'll show you what all has to be done and kind of check it off as you go along. The last thing you're going to do is you're going to enter in the worksite placement information. So you will add a SOC code that best represents the job title for this worksite placement. For our SOC code and NAICS code, you do not have to enter anything. You can just click search and search through all of it, or you can put in keyword or number based on what you know. It will pull in that title. You can edit it if you need to. You could put in the description for that specific position. The employment type. So is this, work-based learning, job shadow, whatever it is. Hourly rate for the placement. Total number of openings for this position. And the estimated length in weeks for how long they would be in this position, how long the on-the-job training would be. And then you'll click finish. And then so right here is the job that we entered in. Eventually you will be able to add customers to that. Right now, we're not going down that. But you can continue to add those employers and work sites as needed. And the instructions do a really good job of walking you through. You'll see it has screenshots and everything too. So if you get into a bind when you're adding it, I always recommend check out the instructions first. They were freshly updated. And then if you still can't get it, go ahead and reach out to myself, Kenneth, and Shannon.
Does the training program information need to be included for anything to come up when you select your employment type? I clicked work-based learning, but nothing came up on the bottom.
For, work-based learning, have you added in a employer and work site yet?
No, so I do need to add the initial one.
Yeah, so you gotta start adding them in and then you will see data here.
Okay, so for instance, if we are doing work-based learning, we would add in all the different places that the youth will be working at. Is that
Natasha, I'm gonna defer to you, yeah.
okay.
I'm pretty sure there's a specific service and I can look it up to see if that service uses that template or not. Let me look that up real quick. I think they would, but I could be wrong.
there any other questions while she's looking that up? And I was working on somebody's account earlier to Arnissa. I got you updated to reset to success for your organization.
Thank you.
Yep.
As we're waiting for this latest piece of info, I know Shannon is hopping off, but I do want to also make sure in case I also need to go before you guys are wrapped up. For the new grantees who've never used Illinois WorkNet, iWoods, or Career Connect, this is a great fresh slate. So thanks to Natasha and Olivia for walking us through all of this. And we will be doing the ongoing trainings on our Wednesday meetings to make sure that you, the grantees, can all enter all the services that you're doing so that you can really show the customer success and also make sure you're getting credit for all the activities you're doing. So we're getting there. It's a work in progress, and it's going to be great when it's 100% up and functioning for us all.
So whenever I look up work-based learning for the different, we have internships, job shadowing, pay, let's see what is this one now? Because yeah, job shadowing, paid work experience. Yeah, no, you don't need to enter them. It looks like in here for the work-based learning pieces, because it says they just use the standard service template, which is kind of weird. If you're going to do a paid work experience, I would imagine, I don't really know why they chose a standard service template for that, but if you're going to do a paid work experience, I would put those locations in the worksite placement.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. If there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and end today's afternoon session. I want to go ahead and add my email to the chat one more time for any new folks that have joined us. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time with any questions you have regarding the tools or the program. More than happy to assist. Kenneth, Shannon, is there anything you want to add before we close out?
I think everyone's in pretty good shape.
Natasha, anything from you?
Nope, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.